I'm Jim Collison and live from Omaha, Nebraska in the Gallup offices in Singapore, as well as tonight in India. This is Gallup's Call to Coach, recorded on September 8th, 2015. Call to Coach is a resource for those who want to help others discover and use their strengths. We have Gallup experts and independent strengths coaches share tactics, insights, and strategies to help coaches maximize the talent of individuals, teams, and organizations around the world. If you have questions during the webcast, we do have a live chat room that's available for you. It's right below the main video window, and really the best way to get questions into the program. If you're listening to the recorded version, or if you have questions about custom strengths coaching solutions for small, medium, or large organizations, go ahead and contact us. Send us an email, coaching@gallup.com, or use the contact form right there on the live page, just to the right and down a little bit. Yep, that's it. Fill that in, they'll go right to us. And don't forget to visit the Gallup Strengths Center. That's just Gallup-strengthscenter.com for all your coaching resources and Strength Finder training needs. You can also catch the video on both streaming or downloadable audio for offline listening to all the past shows as well. We have almost 100 of them now. All the links are available, including the links to the mobile apps, where you can get your top 5 and remember them right there on your mobile device. They're all available at our coaches blog. That's just coaching.gallup.com. Pooja Luthra is our host today. She works as an advanced consultant with the Gallup office there in Delhi. It's great to see you, Pooja. Thank you for waking up early this morning. We know it's early in India. It's early morning in Singapore, but Pooja, thanks for coming on today.
Thanks, Jim. Good morning, everyone. I'm super excited to be here. This is the first time I'm doing this, and I'm actually hosting the show with someone from Singapore, and that to someone of such immense repute. It's been such a pleasure even reading about you. I just hope to meet you very soon. So our guest for today is Zai Miztiq. She's a social entrepreneur, travel learner, author, speaker, trainer. She started her own henna and body art business while she was still pursuing her diploma, and her passion, I believe, has taken her through the world. The business now has probably grown into a multitude of things, including e-commerce, I believe, hijab enterprise, language coaching, translations, and outreach programs. In fact, just as we were talking before, Zai mentioned that she's also just authored the book and released a book called Turn Your Passion to Profits, which has been her tool when she does her life coaching. So today I'm really there you go. So excited, Zai, because we know that you're also now a certified Gallup-Strengths Coach, and it's of utmost interest to all of us here to know how you've used it, how you're integrating it into the work that you're currently doing, and we'd love to hear all about it. So let's start with knowing a little bit about your top 5, and then we'll take it from there.
Sure. Hi Pooja, hi Jim, and hi everyone. I'm Zai Miztiq from Singapore. My top 5s are empathy, connectedness, ideation, adaptability, and positivity. Yep. So where do I start?
Tell us a little bit. When did you take the Strengths Finder?
Actually, I was coached last June, and I went on board the program, I think, in October or December last year.
Okay. So what prompted you to become a certified coach? What
happened? When I was coached by one of the coaches here in Singapore called Dahlia. She's Dahlia. Yeah. I don't know if you guys know Dahlia, but so Dahlia coached me, and I knew there was so much of calling. I had a higher purpose. I wanted to do something huge, but I didn't know what. And then when I did the personality test, and I found out my top 5. I was like, this is gift for the whole mankind. Like, this is like the root of solution for the whole mankind. Strengths Finder and strengths coaching, you know. So that's what prompted me to take up the certification. And also after I knew what I had empathy, adaptability, and most importantly, I understood my ideation. Why I had so many ideas, but I never took action, because my focus, strategy, and discipline was like at the end, like 20 plus, 22, 24. So when I knew I had all these traits whereby I really wanted to hang out and help people, but I didn't have execution, I integrated the thing called theme innovation, and I found my focus, strategic, discipline in my top 5 through my empathy, positivity, and ideation. So when I did that, I was like, I wrote a book. This is the book. It's called Turn Your Passion to Profits. And I had readers who connected with me. They called me and it was like, Zai, this book really moved me. Some people just cried on the phone, and I'm like, okay, wait, I need to find out what ingredients they are made of. I can just tell them, this is me, this is my empathy and my everything that was presented to them, but I just needed to know what ingredients they are made of before I can actually tell them, okay, this is how you move forward with your life. So then I found the urgency of being a certified strengths coach to help more people. Yeah.
Great. But before we get into that, I really like to know about your own strengths journey. So once you took the test and you knew that you had these top five, how did it
Right.
play out for you as in the work that you were doing at that time? You were still doing life coaching, right? At that
Not
time?
yet, not yet, not yet. I was just an
Okay.
author. I was doing my own business. Well, like I said, after I knew my top five and my talents, it actually helped me a lot with my relationship with my mom.
Really? Yeah.
I thought that was that in itself was the biggest gift in the world, because I mean, she's like 70 plus, so I can't expect her to do the test. But after I went through all my 34, I understood why when I saw someone crying, thanks to my empathy, I would like, oh, don't cry, and I would like, try to embrace that person. My mom would just like, she was like, I don't know, is that an activator or achiever or strategic, but she's like, yeah, I told you don't do this. She starts scolding that same person that I'm sympathizing with, and we used to have lots of problem because of that. I'm like, mommy, what's wrong? Why don't you feel for people? Then I realized that she had her past and she have her life, and she have no time for empathy and emotions. She's a Wonder Woman. So that made me appreciate and respect her. I'm like, wow, my mom is a Wonder Woman. What's wrong with me? Now I know what's right about her and I know what's right about me. So it's like, that's their problem. It shouldn't come in between us. So this is going to be super awesome for couples, for parents. I mean, we just want to make peace with our parents. They did everything for us, but we're never thankful, never appreciating, never respecting them, because we don't even know who we are, what makes us unique and special. Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I thought that
Yeah.
was the first breakthrough for me when I was coached. That I was like, this is it. I gotta be a strengths coach.
Yeah, so that's a
Yeah,
very powerful personal story actually. But what happens is that, once you have such an experience, it's only then you're able to appreciate that how it works out for people and you want to sort of pass that out to others as well. So how have you
definitely.
started using the Clifton Strengths Finder in the work that you're doing now?
Okay, like I said, after the book, people contacted me. I have people on Facebook who I mean, I'm strong on Facebook. Like my influence is strong on Facebook, and people will just write to me, "Oh, sis, I have this problem and that problem and everything," and I'm like, okay, go take your top five. Let me see what you're made of, and then I can coach you and tell you what to do. But after some time, the last 2 months, I created this program called the Sisterhood Mentorship Program. So
Hmm.
I work with my 5 chapters of the book. I actually help people think, reflect, understand, take action, healing others. That's the 5 chapters. It stands
Mm.
for TRUTH. So I call it the
Yeah,
Truth Proven
true.
System. And
Mm.
then I bring them through 3 steps whereby they identify with their identity. Of course, the
Mm-hmm.
first step, they need to take the test and
Yes.
let me know what you stand for. So they identify their identity for me to help them gain confidence and clarity, and for the
Mm-hmm.
women to be happy, ultimately. So
Mm.
this is what I'm doing for the women, and so far I've got 10 clients, and in a month I've had like super awesome testimonials. Like I did the right thing for the first time in my life. Like
Yeah.
the best thing I did in my life was this, because I mean, if I can I read the testimonial for you or maybe show it to you? I don't know,
Sure.
but it's
Mm.
like this lady just wrote to me. I just did one coaching, 45-minute session. I did a learning journal, so she had to go through what situations. And okay, here's the testimony. Let me read for you. She said, "Hi Zai, thank you for granting me an opportunity to be in your program. From feeling like good for nothing, you have brought me to a level of awareness that I am pretty wholesome. From feeling self-doubt, you made me gain confidence that I can take up any opportunity that I am new to. From feeling lost and depressed almost every other day," she has empathy by the way, "I am much happier now. It's been less than a month into this exclusive hand-holding coaching, and I have learned so much." So these are the kind of words that I hope for every coaches in the world and everyone to hear, so that just inspire you to wake up and do the same thing again and again and again. Yeah, and I'm not a routine structured person. I die with that, but finally I found focus and discipline. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a very powerful testimonial as well. So,
Mm.
that is based on the coaching. So, tell me a little bit more about this course that you do and how the way you've integrated strengths, and you've had people have other aha moments when they're sort of integrating what you've written with the Strengths Finder.
Sorry again?
So, when you're doing the program, the module that you said about the 5 chapters as well as the strengths coaching, tell me a little bit about that and how people have gone through that and what happens after they have done that.
Okay, that is one example, that testimony.
Yeah.
I've had
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still very new to this because I started this whole thing like on the eve of my birthday, 20th July. I wanted to launch this in September, actually, and I'm like, I have to do this today. And immediately I had like 3 clients, and I don't have much to share yet, but personally, I think, let me see, who are my other sisters there? I forgot. Let's see which powerful story I can share you guys. Just give me a second. Okay. Well, other stuff that I do with my clients would be the mantras, a switch I call it. So there's this lady. She's a teacher, and she have masters, and she have masters, and she's like very highly educated. But she's been like, people around her put her down so much. Like, oh, you're so lazy, oh, you're this and that. And then I realized it's because she's not into routine and structure. She's like this hippie, happy. I think if I'm not wrong, she has not activator, what was it? She's adaptability and connected. So she's just like super deep, and people don't get her. So like normal people don't get her. She's like into poems, poetry, and all that. So when she spoke to me, of course, with connectedness and ideation and empathy, we just clicked. But well, somehow I taught her some mantra like switch. But whenever you feel a certain way, like you're feeling too emotional, like what do you do? I tell her, you say practical. I'm practical, practical, practical. I'm practical, practical, practical. Like I teach them how to sing and then tune out the way and just make me. I don't care. It sounds stupid, but as long as you feel okay, and like even today as I was coming here, I'm like, I want to make sure I give the best in this sharing and everything. So I was like, why am I so anxious? Because I want to do my best, right? So I was like, I'm amazing. I'm amazing. I'm amazing. So these are the kind of things we need to keep talking to ourselves. It's so crazy, but who cares? You get your job done and you're happy and you make people happy. So yeah, that's one other story, right?
I love the words that you use. The thing about getting to know what ingredients people are made of and giving them a mantra to sort of repeat it to themselves. So no, that's very powerful because those are words I guess people really understand and associate it with as
Definitely.
well. Yeah. So, how has this played out into your style? So, I know you're probably always this effervescent, but knowing a little bit about your talent themes, has it played out into your style in writing, in talking to your clients, in interacting, and you said influencing and all of that? Has it changed a bit now that you know your talent themes a bit better?
Definitely, definitely. I feel much like the secret group I call on my Facebook for this Sisterhood mentorship program is I am strong, soulful, and success. So it definitely made me more founded and grounded. That's why it definitely made me more founded and grounded. Like because I have empathy. Like before, when I go out with my friends, I like have to. No, I don't stop at every other street, but like almost every. If I see someone get lost, I just have to stop and help the person. Like, excuse me, sir, can I help you to get to your destination? Especially if he's a traveler, because I'm a traveler, I know how he feels, thanks to my empathy. But yeah, so my friends like, why are you so in Singlish they call it kepo? Why are you so inquisitive? Why the hell do you care? I'm like, I can't. If I don't help, I just cannot live through the day. And now when I know, it's my empathy, and I love the fact that you learn about the raw state and your matured state. I thought that was very powerful stuff to learn. The soul and the role of what you are truly made of. I think I'm very soulful. I just love all this stuff, the connectedness, and it's just amazing stuff. Yeah, I really changed my life, if I can say that. It really changed my life, helped me understand people better, also helped me with my relationship with my brothers. My brothers like focused, strategic. I never ever saw him in the eye. Like, we always argued every time we met. Every single time we meet, we will have an argument. But today is different. Like, we have WhatsApp, like, hey bro, how are you? You know, we say hi to each other, like, hey, where are you? Are you in Singapore? Just, I mean, it's no brainer. Like, people have to get onto this, be a strengths coach, or at least get a strengths finding test and know who you are, what makes you unique and special. That's just the best gift in the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, what I like, Zai, about the work that you're doing is that your approach to coaching people is very holistic. So it's not just about the Strengths Finder. You've
Yes.
got the book, you've got all these other things that you have integrated together to make it to make the experience very, very meaningful for people who come to you.
Definitely.
So,
It's very wholesome.
yeah. There are coaches out there who use different tools along with the Strengths Finder, and I always say that it's something that can seamlessly be integrated with anything. So, any tips
Definitely.
or techniques that you would have as sort of, things that you did that worked well from a point of view of this integration of Strengths Finder with some of the other things that you have done? Any tips for other coaches who probably, getting onto that journey and trying to see how they can make their coaching style more holistic?
Um, well, there's one other thing that we can do for this is what I integrate in my strengths coaching and this whole program is through coaching. There's another part that I go a step further or maybe a mile further. I take my clients through getting past their past using their top 5. Maybe they had
Mm-hmm.
a, if they hadn't used, they had a raw ideation or I don't know if they had a raw theme and they are an achiever but they feel underachieved, right? It's due to something in the past. I mean, that is not something that everyone should do just anyhow because it's a very sensitive issue. You can make or break your client. So getting past the past with strengths coaching is something very powerful that we can help our clients with. There was one case that I helped one of my client with that, and well, her goal. We always ask them, "What's your goal, dreams, and fears?" Right? So she said her goal is just one thing. She want to be able to stand up and have her own say. So when she
Mm-hmm.
said that, I'm like, I'm sure there's something in the past that happened. That's why she feel very jaded, very uncomfortable for standing up and having her own say, right? So what I do is I take her through. I said, is there one moment in the past that you had an opportunity to stand up and have your say, but you did not?
Mm-hmm.
And it took her. She's like, if I can say the age, she's like in late 20s, and she related to something in her schooling days. She's a taekwondo. She was in taekwondo's club or something, and she had like one of the best kicks or I don't know moves that the teacher was very very proud of. But what happened was she just held back and she got kicked every time. And every time she got kicked by that opponent, she would just go aside and cry. Maybe because of her empathy. I'm thinking it's her empathy and I don't know. There was another. I can't remember what her top 5s are now. So and I said, if I was with you right now, not holding your hands, I'm there right now, and you know these are your top 5s. Will you just kick her ass? I said that, and she's like,
Mm-hmm.
yes. So I said, you hang on to that for the whole week until we speak the next week because it's a weekly strategy session. Just hang on to any time you want to do something. She has deliberative and restorative and empathy. I don't know how she lived her life. Oh my god. Yeah, no, I know. So she had a lot of deliberative and restorative. So for deliberative people are the what ifs people. So I said, when you want to do something, you ask yourself, why not?
Mm-hmm.
So she hang on to that and that visual imagery of her kicking that girl at her taekwondo sparring partner, and that was the testimony that I read to you just now, actually.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That makes
She's
sense. I can
coming.
connect to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Now you're using
So,
a connectedness.
so you said something that I just sort of wanted to ask you again, more for coaches to
Other
understand this a
coaches.
yeah. So, you
Okay.
said something about it was a weekly session sort of a thing
Yep.
with her that you met her and then again you met her after a week. So how do you tend to pace these interactions with your clients down? Is it
Actually,
always
my programs are 6 months hand-holding coaching. So what
okay?
I do is we do webinars,
Mm-hmm.
Skype sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Half the time I don't even meet them because
Mm-hmm.
it's a very personal, very intimate session. But we don't even need to meet. because not everyone's comfortable speaking like that, like, oh dude, I have a problem. You're not just speaking to a girlfriend, you're speaking about something that you want to get over and heal. So yeah, like on Skype, we have webinars, I do videos. Even now I'm videoing this session so that I get to share with the girls. And so well, you need to give them space. At the same time, you need to make an impact. But personally, because I've met lots of my other strengths coaches in Singapore, right? I think what a tip that I would share with the coaches would be, I see this as from an entrepreneurial point of view, a business aspect, right? So I have that entrepreneurial background. There are other coaches who, oh, I have this idea, I want to do this, but they do not know how to integrate it into a program. And I would love to help such people come up with programs, because I just love throwing programs. I have ideation positivity, and it's just crazy. So I want to help people come up with programs, and that's what I do. And that's why I also have I've started a new thing that I'm starting, is unleashing the rock star in you for students and men, because I've had men who heard what I do for my sisterhood and like, is that just for ladies? I'm like, you wait, I'll start a brotherhood mentorship program or something, but it's gonna be called unleashing the rock star in you. So there's so many opportunities actually for our strengths coach. The first thing I think most of us need to know is to see it on a business point of view, and how you can take it a level further. This can grow viral, because like, for example, my book, I wrote a book last week. It flew to Romania, it flew to South Africa, it's been to Ireland, it was in UK, went to India as well. I'm waiting for the US and to Australia, New Zealand. So with the internet, like now, we are three of us are in different parts of the world, but we are getting something done, and I'm sure it's going to impact at least one person. I always believe in that. When I want to do something, my advice to the coaches is just start with your first one. Take the first step first. Do it right away, and miracles happen to move us.
Yeah. No, excellent. I mean, it's not just this. I think you've mentioned quite a few things that the coaches can take off. So what you said about, asking them about what has happened in the past. If you remember, even in the course, we talk about name it and then claim it. The claim it part of it is largely talking about how it have things played out for you in the past, and then taking it forward from there. So, you're saying that about, give or take 6 months is what you sort of do with clients.
Yes.
Any experience around helping clients to sort of aim things? I mean, do you work in the corporate scenario, or is it pretty much people from all walks of life, or do you have anything around how have you helped people aim their talents as well as what you have written to accomplish a goal or an objective?
Like I said, this thing is very new to me. The fact that the girl from feeling a good for nothing, she's feeling wholesome. That's a huge aiming at. I mean, like, that's awesome in just like not even a month, and it's like, that's awesome. So, what else do we want? Like, I'm sure there's more, because right after this, the follow up of the program would be a apprentice entrepreneur program. So with strengths, so most of my programs are built on strengths based, definitely. Yeah, so with their strengths, what are the kind of business they should get into? How do they deal with clients? What should they do? What shouldn't they do? And these are the kind of things that we use their strengths to find out, and to help people excel in their business, in their life, in their relationship. I mean, this is seriously no-brainer. It's like, wow, awesome stuff.
So again, one of the questions, because I see your belief in the idea of strengths is very apparent in the way you talk about it. But do you have a challenge ever in trying to convince people about the merits of strengths-based development? Because you do have people saying, why are we talking about this? I need to accomplish something. I'm not sure how my strengths are going to help me. So have you ever come across a situation in which you've had to actually sell the approach?
I'm very selective with my clients now. Yeah. So I mean, not that I don't want to take all the businesses, right? But well, everyone is at a different stage. There's cold leads, warm leads, and hot leads. People who really want help. So I only can help people who really want to get help.
Yeah.
So if you think you're fine and you don't think strength is gonna work for you, then well, read my book first. That's always my first approach. Get to know me first. Get to know how I think, feel, and behave, and what are my successes. Because I am the best of example, right? I'm gonna be their role model, their coach, guide, mentor. So if they like what they read, they understand how I think, feel, and then they should just duplicate or just follow what I do and not follow blindly, right? Because
Yeah.
all these are proven stuff, it's scientifically proven and stuff. So just take them, hold their hands, but I don't have to sell the approach. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So
So
no,
far
I
it's
get
been good.
what you're saying. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Jim, do we have any questions from the chat room?
Yeah, we have a couple actually. So Ryan had asked Zai if you could speak a little more about goals, dreams, and fears. Maybe give us a sample of how you're able to use each one of those to help a coachee. Goals, dreams, fears.
Goals, dreams, and fears. So basically, these are the questions I ask them after I've named explained to them what are their top fives, right? So I ask them what are the goals they want to achieve, what are the dreams they want to achieve, and fears they want to achieve. So they will just tell me. Some of them cannot articulate whatever they really want, so we kind of guide them. But how do I define that question? Ryan, what do you want to know exactly?
I think for an example of how that played out for somebody, can you give like where somebody walked through that and achieved, what their dream was?
Dream, an example. I can't recall. I remember. Let me look at my clients' faces and get stories.
Helpful.
Okay, dreams. Well, like yesterday, actually, I signed this client up and enrolled her, and she was like, I just asked her, okay, when she called me, immediately I just asked her, why me, what do you want me to do for you? She said, Zai, I need a life. She said that, I need a life. I'm like, that's huge goal, like, that's huge dreams, man. Like, she needs a life. Like, how do you define that? That's goals, that's dreams, that's fears as well, because you don't know how you're living your life, right? So there's no specification, but it just helps them. Oh, my dream is this, or my goal is something more serious. My fears are things I need to uncover and just unleash and take it out of my system. So, yeah.
Yeah, in our kit, in
Write
the coach's
to me,
kit,
Ryan. We'll have a Skype.
We have this form we send through. It's almost exactly the same, where you write a goal in the middle and you put 3 of your themes on top and filter that through the goal to get kind of the result, or the dreams in this case. And so that's an exercise I actually take our high school and college students on all the time. They see a goal, they've got some kind of goal through there, and we put the themes across the top and then filter that down through the bottom. JB asked the question, he said, I'd wonder if there was any tips on how to find one's niche that you could give. Have you seen where, lately there's been a lot of talk about this niche or niche, however you say that. Any tips if someone came to you and was looking to zero in on a particular niche in their life, more than just get a life, but maybe a particular niche? Any thoughts on that?
A niche in their life. It really depends. I have clients who come to me and say, I want to make a lot of money. I have clients, and at the end of the day, it's not about the money, it's about, I'll ask them again, who are you actually? And to me, the niche would be identifying your identity. It all boils down to one thing. When you don't know who you are, what you stand for, nothing's gonna work out. Everything's just surface. There's no depth. And then you're just gonna dabble and be unhappy, and then you try something new, and you just don't. The niche is actually your inner self. Just get to know yourself first, and then appreciate yourself. Self-love, self-respect, self-appreciation. I think that's our job as the strengths coach. We can help them if they want a money coach, and then just go to a money coach. But then I can do that for entrepreneurial. But you see, ultimately as a strengths coach, we need to know what we can offer. It's not what people want anymore. It's what are we offering on our table. And be authentic, be authentic about it.
So this question's from Jim in Omaha. He asks, when you're writing your book, any challenges as you think about the process of going through that? How did you apply your top 5 to the book writing process? A couple weeks ago, I got challenged to write a book, and so I'm starting to head down that journey with Oscar, who was on the program here. But how did you go about it, and how did you apply your top 5 to your book writing?
Okay, beautiful question, because I wrote it right after I did my when I knew my talents, so my strengths now. So what happened was I used my positivity and ideation to, when you have I don't know what's that person's top 5. I would love to help. It's you, is it? Is that yourself? What's your top 5? Let's do a real life coaching now.
Here's my top 5. So Ranger, Woo, Maximizer,
Wait.
communication.
Arranger.
Yeah, arranger, woo,
Whoa,
yeah,
nice.
woo, maximizer,
Mm-hmm.
woo's partner, communication, and activator.
Communication.
But I want to know
Oh,
how
easy.
you wrote the book with your top five.
Easy.
Which is,
Easy. Okay, I think I used my activate because when what my biggest challenge was when I knew I had low focus, discipline, strategic. My ego couldn't take it. So I said, dude, my ego couldn't take it. I was like, I have focus and strategic and discipline. I'm gonna prove this thing wrong. But I think what I used was my empathy, my
yeah.
ideation, and my positivity, and my belief, which is number 7. But I used my empathy, my ideation, and my adaptability, and I was like, I just stayed focused. That is my motivational driver. That's what I realized. My positivity and my ideation is my motivational and my driver to just get things done. So I just made sure. Honestly, I took just a week to write this book. I had
Wow.
I had the chapters like 7 years ago. Like I knew this truth system, like think, you reflect, understand, then you take action, then you heal others. And I uncovered this like 7, 8 years ago. I made a painting out of it, and if I can show you, I made it into my page breaker. So so I had the chapters there. This is like one of it. If you can see,
Yep.
do you see that? That's reflect. So there's think, reflect, understand, take action, healing others. I knew there was a chapter, so I just put it down, and then I think, what do I need to share with people? Who they are, okay, what makes them special, what makes them unique, and then reflect. How does that work? And then I make them understand why. So it was a nice flow, and I just stayed focused and strategic. That's it. I was like, I'm gonna finish this book in a week, and I did it.
That's great. I wish you hadn't said that because now Oscar's going to expect me to write that book in a
Yes,
week.
in a
And
week. No, a week. You can take a month.
not going to
At
happen in a
least,
week,
yeah.
maybe not even a month. Hey, let me ask you one more question for me. Younger, in your teens or or early adolescence, how did those themes shine through for you now, or how do they shine through for you now? And which one have you pulled the farthest when you think about your top five, those themes? Which one of those have you pulled the farthest and you're leaning on the most right now?
What have I hang on? I think it's always my positivity because I didn't tell you guys about myself. Can I share a bit about me?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay,
absolutely.
what
Go.
happened was right after, yeah, that should be introduction like first, right? So what happened was after my graduation from poly, just before diploma, I actually was a president of the Makeup Artist Club. There was this face painting, body painting, and I was introduced to henna art. So when I knew I could do henna art. You know what's henna, right, Jim?
No.
Of course, Puja, no. You don't know the henna painting that we draw on the hands?
Oh,
Like a
okay. Oh, yes.
temporary tattoo,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I brought that actually. I met someone who said, "Why don't you take this art to Japan? You'll be big in Japan." Then I was not even 20 then. Oh, I'm not even 21 then. And I was like, "Why not?" I think that was my positivity at work and my ideation or something. So I went to Japan. It was supposed to be a 2 week trip. It became a 6 month stay. And when I went to Japan, it was super cold. It was winter cold. I thought I was gonna die every day, but I didn't. And then and then we were interviewed by the media. It was so big. It really became big. There was magazine interview, radios and stuff. And I didn't speak any Japanese. I knew arigato gozaimasu and ohayo gozaimasu. Thank you and good morning. I had to learn the language because people didn't want to speak the language at all, the English at all. So I was like, good, then I can learn the language. So I used my positivity again, I think, and empathy because I wanted to speak to people and get to know people, I guess. So right after that, I thought I was gonna go and build a school in Japan and just settle in Japan because I fell in love with Japan. And I came back into 2003, into 2005, I met with an accident, a very bad car accident. I fractured, dislocated my spine. Doctors said I cannot walk anymore. And even after the operation, 95% of the chance I will not be able to walk anymore. Indeed, I recently found out that I had only 50-50 chance of living in this world, or I would have left this world. So it was pretty bad. But I think even at that time, now that we're bringing me back with my top five to my past, I think even at that time it was my positivity. I just hang on to one fact that I have to live for my mother. Like I had a purpose, right? I have to live for my mother. As a mommy's girl, I have to live for my mom. So I think that was again positivity. So that helped me through. And a year into the accident, almost a year, I asked myself a question: am I going to have a victim mindset or victorious mindset? Right? So I gave myself a choice. So I was like, so okay, fine. I want to do something. God gave me a second chance to live for a reason. I'm not here for nothing, right? So okay, let's do something. So I was traveling. I went to London, Cyprus, Syria. I was not wearing this before, like. Yeah, I was a model before, and then I was like, I want to look for something cool and trendy. So I traveled. I spotted this fashion. I started my Facebook marketing, and through those stuffs, I actually encouraged. I was doing a lot of counseling for women who found it difficult to, donning their hijab, and it's been something I've been doing all along. My positivity has been something that I have brought to my life, and it's just something that I bring to the world. And so since then, after that, I traveled again. I went to Jordan, Morocco, Yemen. It was super hard life there because firstly I didn't know language at all, and it was totally different culture. But well, I lived, I survived, and I came back. I started a program again, a Read, Write, Speak Arabic program, and again, I think that was positivity perhaps, and ideation. And I love helping people, my empathy. So I think these are the top 5 that I really used. I didn't even know it. It was maybe raw sometimes. Raw empathy is horrible. Do you guys know about empathy? You know, like when
Yes.
you have empathy, Pooja?
No, I don't. My empathy is number 34, but I do know.
Perfect. We're friends. 5. So like when my empathy was raw, when I speak to someone, I would just get gastric after that. I just get into their shoes and I'll feel so upset for them. I'll cry more for them than they're actually crying. I know it sounds crazy, but it's like that. It's like that. And now before I meet anyone, even when I jump into a cab, the driver will just start speaking to me and telling their problem. I'm like, I started again. So I'm like, practical, and I just listen and give him some advice. Some people just need listening ears. I realized that I don't have to get into their lives. I have a life now.
Yeah. It's a good answer. Pooja, as we bring this in for a landing, I'll put it back to you.
Yeah, no, that's all that I had. In fact, I was the next thing I was going to bring up was the event of your life, because I read about it, but I wasn't sure how ready are you to talk about it. But I'm glad you shared it, because it was a very, very inspirational thing that you know. I wouldn't call it a story. It was something that you went through, and very, very inspirational. And all I could think about while you were narrating it is that all your talents, pretty much, they come to life for you in everything that you have done thus far, which can't have a better example than that. So thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank
Zai.
you. Pleasure.
Yeah, that's all that I have, Jim. I really have nothing more. I'm actually my empathy is being pulled up. I'm still into her story right now.
Yes,
No, it's
number 25 now.
It's
Number 25
great.
now.
A ranger and activator wants to make me figure out how I can use her to push forward the global strength movement. So thank you for finding strength.
Jim.
And we're glad
Jim,
strength's
bring me
found
to
you.
the States.
Say that again.
Jim, bring me to the States. Use your arranger. Arrange for me to
figure out a way. I'd actually like to come see you in Singapore, so that would be a lot of fun to do that there as well.
For sure.
Yeah, we'll figure out a way to do it. Thanks for coming on. We want to remind everyone to take full advantage of all the resources we have available at the Gallup Strengths Center. That's just GallupStrengthsCenter.com. Don't forget to send us your questions, comments in an email, coaching@gallup.com. You can also catch the recorded audio and video for this show as well as all the past ones. And all the links are on to our Facebook and YouTube page. They're over at the coach's blog, coaching.gallup.com. If you have an idea for a blog post, we are accepting applications. We're interviewing guest writers. You can send us an email. Send that to coaching@gallup.com. Put guest a blogger in the subject line. And we've had several of you do that, so we appreciate you doing that. And we'll give that a try as well. Maybe you should guest blog for us. That'd be a great idea. You can write a quick blog. We have some 30 global meetups now going on around the world. Maybe your city is represented. Best chance it's not. And so if you head out to our meetup page, coaching.gallup.com/meetups, you can see all of them if it's not happening in your city. Love for you to start one. You don't have to be a certified coach to get a meetup going. And so you can send me an email, Jim_Collison@gallup.com. if you want to get that started, I've got all the tools and resources available for you to help, and I'll even get on the phone with you for 30 minutes. So let's get a meetup started in a city near you. Don't forget that we also have Android and iPhone apps available, as well as streaming and offline listening for everything there. It's all at the Coaches Blog, coaching.gallup.com. Pooja, do you know, I kind of going to blindside you with this, but courses coming up there in your region, do you know of anything right off the top of your head?
I wouldn't know about Singapore, but I do know that in India we have the next accelerated strengths coaching coming up the week of 21st September. So that's what's coming up in India, but I'm not too sure about Singapore at the moment.
Well, if you wanted to know, you could go to coaching. You could go out to the Gallup Strengths Center. So just go to Gallup-certified and look in our courses directory, and they're all listed right there. Chances are you're going to be listening to this after this time, anyways. And so you can get a list of all our courses that are going on around the world, and we do a ton of them. Love to have you do that. Again, that's Gallup-strengthscenter.com. We want to thank everyone for joining us today. If you enjoyed it, please share it. We look forward to the next Call to Coach. And with that, we'll say goodbye, everyone.